Countdown. We're live. Hello, I'm Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm going to try to make this quick, but I want to elaborate from a few days ago when I had a little commentary about Ana Kasparian on her meltdown. We know about her meltdowns. I'm not criticizing too badly. But let's say that some of the comments I made about the Young Turks in the last year will guarantee that my channel, The Willie Bragg Show, will never be an affiliate to the Young Turks. So during those years, we know about those years. They did kind of, in my opinion, they did introduce the American political electorate to something other than conservative talk radio. And I am grateful for that. And I've always made that correlation. So boomer conservative talk show radio, Fox News, it just, TV evangelical preachers just seem to dominate right-wing media and in this country. So when YouTube came out, that was a pathway for the left to basically start making our case to the American people. And the Young Turks were the pioneers in that regard. They were like the Beatles. They were like the Beatles invasion, so to speak. So in that regard, I appreciate it. And they've done good work over the years, but I have grown very, very impatient, and their program started running dry, and it started in around the time Donald Trump became president. Let's face it. That's when it started. And there was a Jeffrey Katzenberg bought the Young Turks, or gave an endowment to the Young Turks for $20 million. And Jeffrey Katzenberg is a major Clinton donor. So do the math. I think that they wanted to curtail, my opinion, that $20 million was meant to try to curtail any insurgent left-wing movement. And they using the Young Turks to try to do this. I don't think that the Young Turks themselves want to curtail the movement, but they figure, in my opinion, that the $20 million they use, they could probably find a way to further their cause. But there's a saying that there are strings attached. Well, here's the thing. A few days ago, I've been very critical of the Young Turks for quite a while, especially since last year. And I'm not so mad at the Young Turks anymore. And even with my criticism of the Young Turks, hold tight here. Even with my criticism of the Young Turks, they still provide some good stories and all of that. I do watch other stories out there, so other sources. But suffice to say, when I saw this a few days ago from Ana Kasparian, I was very proud of her. So it's worth playing again, and I will comment.
If we're going to sit around and wait for our elected lawmakers to protect us from these religious zealots and these right-wing authoritarians, man, we have another thing coming. How many times do we need to be disappointed by them? I'm done with them. And personally, I don't speak for everyone in this network. I want to be clear. I'm speaking for myself. I'm done with them completely. The Democratic Party, every single one of them, that includes the squad, I don't care anymore. They have not delivered. I'm done. Okay. It's time to organize Create organizations that get women and get people in this country what they need. People who are willing to pick up the slack for these disgusting, feckless, corrupt politicians. That's what we need to focus on. If we're going to sit around.
Okay. I love that. I mean, that was the best commentary that came out from her in quite a while. I really did like hearing that from her the other day. But then this is also what I heard. And give me a moment here. I'm on StreamYards, and you know what that means. So give me a moment. Contrast that with this.
They pretend like they care about unborn babies' lives. There are children who are on their way here to the United States out of fear for their lives, and you support a president who believes in shooting them if they throw rocks. Okay, you don't care about life. You pretend like you do. You use it as an excuse to control the lives of women in the country. That's what it's really about, okay? Because you have to practice what you preach. The right to life doesn't end at reproductive rights, okay? There are living human beings right now that you and your party consistently go after, okay, fearmonger about, slander, and you don't care about their lives. Time and time again, you guys have proven that. They pretend like they care about unborn babies' lives.
Okay. The reason I play that back on back is there was a change of tone, partisan tone. I mean, I'm sure that first tone that first commentary, that first outburst was with no love for the Republicans. We know that. We definitely know there was no love for the Republicans, but she told the damn truth. Democrats suck too. They're both sorry parties. But what I think happened is that Jeffrey Katzenberg, who basically funds Young Turks now, gave, in my opinion, gave Cenk Uygur and Ana Kasparian a phone call. And probably scolded them out. As I said, that's what I think happened. Thus, the changing of the tone to saying it's just the Republicans. And so, as I said, when it comes to blaming Republicans, there's a lot about Republicans that I can go on and on about. Because there's a lot of policies. There's a lot of good reasons to never vote Republican from my perspective. You've heard me say this before. There's a lot of reasons not to vote for the Democrats. But with the Republicans, tax cuts for the wealthy, whereby most of us will never benefit. That's one. Deregulation of financial institutions, which gambles with the people's money, or deregulation of the workplace, which makes a less safe workplace for workers. That's number two. Union busting and outsourcing, which basically harms the middle class and actually makes people more poor. And of course, their tireless efforts to privatize Social Security and Medicare. Those are the reasons why I personally can't vote Republican. So I understand Ana Kasparian, recent outrage against the Republicans. She used the social issues, but those are valid too. The Democrats are not doing anything either. Joe Biden did keep his promise. No fundamental changes. And that's the problem right there. And nobody holds Biden accountable on the left. I mean, nobody's willing to tell the Democratic leadership, you play ball or there's hell to pay. And nobody's willing to do that. The Republicans at least are willing to do it. Why Democrats? Why left-wing Democrats? Who cares about the corporate Democrats? Why left-wing Democrats? Why leftists inside the Democrats? Why do you not do pushback against the right wing of the Democratic Party, right-wing Democrats? Why not do it? Remember, they're to the right of the center right in many European countries. So it's not a problem. I'm all for giving Nancy Pelosi that headache, that migraine. Chuck Schumer deserves that migraine too. Same thing with President Biden and Vice President Harris. They're all right-wingers. Just because I say right-wingers doesn't mean, everybody wears a brown shirt and has a Charlie Chaplin mustache and are a racist. That doesn't necessarily mean that. But it does mean reactionary against progress. And that's what it's all about. And they're right-wingers. They're against moving forward. And so I understood Ana Kasparian's outrage the other day. And the Young Turks got their hands tied with clowns like Jeffrey Katzenberg. And that's basically why I'm yapping away, I was talking to some leftist friends of mine that I keep in touch with online, and I'd say, some of us need to go in there, enter it like a bunch of trots, take over the Young Turks, and restore it back to its glory days. But you know what I'm saying. And basically, what I really do believe happened, I really believe it. That asshole, Jeffrey Katzenberg, went and gave them a what for. Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur got their ass torn up verbally by Jeffrey Katzenberg. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up. And we can't, it really is. It's horrible. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about that right now. We have here on the chat line, Hot Retarded Chicks. How are you today? Smoking roaches over here. Well, I quit smoking Marlboros years ago. Let's see. Hello, will save the world. Well, she says some good things, sensible things about nuclear weapons for sure. That was great. Ray John, Anna. I agree. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. Oh, Hot Retarded Chicks, I'm always happy when you're here. Just feel like we do have a connection. I don't know I've said it before, but just wanted to say that again. So anyway, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. Comment any way you don't like it. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform. Utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And until next time, we have a class struggle to wage. And we have a First Amendment to save, which includes freedom of the press. Thus, meaning we're all Julian Assange. Conclusion. Music.